And we're back. Hey, PJ, welcome to another episode of Friendly Conversations.
Yay!
Hey,
Good to be here.
I know we missed last week. Sometimes
Yep.
things can't be helped. We all need to take some downtime, but we're back, and
For sure.
hopefully this episode won't disappoint.
I don't think
So,
so.
so let's get right into it. Marvel. Well, we have two things. I wanted to discuss comic book movies and TV shows in general, but it's been
Okay.
brought to my attention that at the end of this month, Netflix is dropping all Marvel related content that the contract has ran up on. So that would be all the
Okay.
Defenders and the branch offs of the Defenders, as well as possibly Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Does that mean with these that they will go to Disney Plus after
Okay,
the?
that depends on the streaming contract that they have with other venues. I'm pretty sure they're still available on Amazon Prime for a
Okay.
fee, but they may be going to Disney Plus.
And-
Marvel's Legacy or I think it's Marvel's Legacy.
Okay. Because I noticed that I don't know if you've noticed on Disney Plus, but I've noticed because they have a section for timeline order of the whole cinematic universe. They have started adding these little shorts in there, the Marvel one shots.
Right, from a few years ago.
They're not new per se, yeah, but they've started adding them slowly in. So I was wondering if they're going to start adding Agents of Shield and Agent Carter and all those others
Well, the
after
talk is that
Netflix's
they're
thing
going to
has
add
expired.
it to a subsection called Marvel's Legacy, but
Okay,
I don't know how that's if that's come about yet.
okay.
Also,
Um,
Marvel has I don't know if they switched up their schedule, but as of now, as I read it, the next scheduled TV show is going to be She-Hulk
mhm.
in March of this year.
So that would be She-Hulk?
She-Hulk, and then
Okay.
I think Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness movie comes out in July. I think that's the way it
His new movie.
goes.
Okay.
So at least we've got those two contents. They're also planning on sometime in the late in the year of releasing season 2 of What If.
Which
Now
that
that
will be
originally was
exciting. I liked season one.
well that originally wasn't supposed to be out until next year, but from what I saw,
Really?
yeah, from what I saw though, looks like they upped it to late 2022.
Okay. That's some good news.
So we still have some
All
some
the
decent
Marvel shows.
we still have some decent content to look forward to from Marvel. Unfortunately, Peacemaker's ending next week, so DC is pretty much until until we can get the Batman on streaming, which I don't know if I'm thrilled for that or not.
Yeah, I think Robin Pattinson will do well with the role if he went off however he's going to be directed, like whatever the director wanted him to portray Batman as. But I don't know. I'm on the fence too. Like, I'm going to watch it as well, but I'm not. I don't know. I'm not overly excited about it. Is
Right.
that is that fair?
Oh, that's
Like
fair.
I'm gonna see
Absolutely
it, but
fair.
I'm not overly excited. I'm hoping it proves me wrong and it's a good movie. But I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be a good movie.
Right.
You know what I did watch today?
What did you watch today?
The first Suicide Squad.
Oh,
I
both
finally
of
got
them?
caught up on that. Um, yeah, I've seen both now, and I'm caught up on Maker. I started Suicide Squad before I went into work. After work, finished it off.
Okay. And do you understand Amanda Waller any better now? Or why she's hated so much?
Uh, that was kind of what I was gonna ask: is why she's hated so much. It seems like she's working with or Batfleck, because I guess Batman's gonna change,
Right.
but Affleck's Batman. Um, I thought the first one was really good. Um, Plot holes now come up in my head between the first and the second one.
Okay.
I don't know if they're
Okay.
supposed to coincide with. Just because she's at the end of the first one, she's with Joker, and then all of a sudden she's back with Flag and those guys in the second one. Just in unless she got caught again.
That would be my
So
guess. You're talking about Harley.
yeah, I'm talking about Harley Quinn. And then, I know Deadshot's off doing, because Will Smith had scheduling conflicts. That's why he's not there, obviously. But
And
um,
they replaced him with Bloodsport.
yeah, well, and he's good. I actually see a Suicide Squad with both of them in it. I think that'd be pretty cool, actually,
I think it'd be kind of
if you had
redundant though.
Deadshot and Bloodsport. Yeah, if they're
Well, do you
competing
understand?
against one another though to get the job done,
Like they did with Peacemaker and Bloodsport?
kind of, yeah.
Now, did you understand how
'Cause
Rick Flag got pulled into it now?
I do. She kind of used his girlfriend as leverage over him,
Right. Absolutely.
which
Absolutely.
is
And
that why
once you
so
pulled him
hated?
in, yeah, well, that's one of the reasons. I mean, did you see what she made the original Suicide Squad go through just to save her? Not anyone, just to save her. And then she
Yeah,
killed all the people in that room.
yeah, that was shitty.
I mean,
She didn't have
they
to
lost
do that.
they lost that fire dude, and I think Killer Croc,
They did.
all because she wanted protection. So
I thought
basically, she made her
Killer
own.
Croc made it.
Did he? I thought he blew up with that explosion.
No, he made it. Because he throws the
But
bomb for Deadshot to shoot it
uh,
into the little vortex thing.
because she basically made her own bodyguard system. You know, they weren't there to solve
Yeah,
the world's problems. They were there to keep her
yeah.
to protect her, and that's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
And I think Flag
She put
realized
herself
this
over
towards
the rising nature.
right, and I think Flag realized this, and towards the end, and that's one of the reasons why everybody got what they got. At the end, they all got basically what they wanted because she's just an evil person.
Yeah, she's not good either.
I mean, they saved her from the witch.
Maybe she.
They saved her from the witch, and her first instinct is do more for me, or I'm going to blow your head off with this bomb.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty bad. And it makes you not like her even more in the second Suicide Squad because
Right,
she basically does the same thing. Uh, Not so much to protect her, using them as pawns
right,
to
right.
get to do her bidding. And like Michael Rooker and all those sets of villains, granted they're all bad people and have done bad stuff, but still doesn't make her any better to send them to their deaths, pointless deaths even. Flag and Harley's team
Yeah,
just
but
get
Arm Fall Off
obliterated
Boy
there at
really
the
wasn't.
start.
I don't believe Arm Fall Off Boy was really a villain.
Oh, TDK,
Yeah, whatever that stands
Nathan
for.
Fillion's character.
Yes,
Yeah, I forgot. I looked it up once. He didn't die though.
I think he did. Well,
Everybody, nope. They
assumes
show an extra
he's
scene. He's not
he's
dead.
assumed dead.
I
He's
thought it
assumed
said that
dead.
his condition was critical, but he wasn't. He wasn't killed
It's
because there's an
possible.
extra scene. There's a bonus scene at the end.
Right? No, it's possible. I'm
So,
1,000 years old, so I forget shit. It may have happened.
but it does set up, and it really makes me appreciate Peacemaker even more. That is just a really well developed, good show.
So you could see why Killing
With
Flag
DC needed.
was. You could see why Killing Flag was like the straw that broke the camel's back in his psyche, that he just started to come apart.
Yeah, yeah.
Flag
You
was
now
was
it makes a lot more sense.
now that brings me to the question of comic book movies and shows. Are they following canon, or does it even matter? I mean,
Um, I'll let you go first if you want. I know
well,
what I'm going to
well
say.
from Shang Chi all the way down to through Thor and Hulk and Hank Pym and the Colossus and all that, all the way down to Peacemaker, where in the comic book his father was not the White Dragon. But does it matter that they're
Oh, really?
kind of reframing their origins, or their backstories, or their past?
Um, I don't think so. I think the stories and the origins being changed a little bit from canon per se, it's been okay because it's still like Peacemaker being the son of the White Dragon. It was very touching to see him overcome that obstacle as he's slowly
I mean,
kind of becoming not necessarily a hero, but an anti-hero.
or a human, because at that point
Or
he
yeah,
had
just
no
even a human being.
he he was like, I'll kill anyone in the name of peace, and now he's like, well,
Yeah.
let's back that up a little bit. Like, for
Right.
instance, Fury lost his eye in a combat explosion, not to a flurgle from space.
Right.
Captain America
Which
wasn't the. Matter of fact, they labeled one of the movies Captain America: First Avenger, and he
mhm.
wasn't even part of the original Avenger team.
Oh, really?
No, he joined the Avengers. I think it was the second or fourth issue, uh, just after the Hulk quit the Avengers. So the Hulk was only there for like either one or three issues, and then after that, the Hulk left the Avengers, and Captain America took his place.
Wow. So they never even really worked together until maybe later on.
Right, absolutely. And they changed all that for the movies, but if you're not a comic book reader, you wouldn't know that. And so my question is, does it make a difference that they're actually changing the origins of these groups and these stories? Like they in the movies, Age of Ultron, they had it so that Tony and Bruce made Ultron, or made well, they made Vision.
Right.
Tony made Ultron. In the comic books, Hank Pym made Ultron.
Now, who is Hank Pym?
Um, the guy who gave Scott on Ant-Man the suit. So it's the Wasp's
Yes.
dad.
Okay. Yes.
He was the one who made Ultron in the comic books. They switched it so Tony Stark made it. Just like when Colossal died in Civil War. Colossus was supposed to die in Civil War, and he died in the books. But in the movie, they just made it so that Rhodey was paralyzed instead of dead, and it had nothing to do with Colossus.
Oh, okay.
So, my question is, all these changes that have been throughout the years steady and canon, are they now, I mean, is it ruining it for comic book readers? Or does it not matter because it's a whole new generation coming through that never read comic books?
I think for the older generation of comic book readers, this might be a little slap in the face. But for the newer generations, it doesn't matter as much, and I think it's important because they at least with the early ones, they had Stanley's approval on everything. I think he would have stepped in if he didn't like something. Um, and they're inspiring great through the great storytelling a new era of fans. So I think it doesn't necessarily matter with the newer generations because, like you said, not the newer generations, they don't read as much. So you
Right.
got to kind of get the story out there another way. So, and I think they do that
So,
really well.
so, but getting the story out another way, couldn't you do that and still keep to
You
the
you
original
could, but
canon?
maybe they're trying to make maybe they didn't like the canon and didn't feel like those instances were maybe more relatable to the audience. Whereas here, maybe they'll think, okay, the audience will react to this a little bit more or have a better connection with the character more if we do it this way. So,
Right, right, right. Plus, I'm sure that some of the tropes that they used in the old comics are outdated, but still, for instance, Shang-Chi, he worked with MI6 in the comic books. They don't even mention that. Maybe it's coming in Shang-Chi too. I don't know.
I'm ready for Shang-Chi too. I like
I,
Shang-Chi.
and
I
I,
know.
I have been a Marvel fan my entire life. My two favorite comic books were Power Man and Iron Fist. When they joined Heroes for Hire, it was amazing. And I hate to say this, but I really am enjoying Peacemaker from DC.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Peacemaker's been great. The acting's been great. John Cena has just embraced that role. And I think he's showing his acting skills off a little bit more in this than he did in the movies. I think it's been really good.
Well, he admitted that it's harder for him to play comedy roles than it is for him to do action roles. So he's really putting his heart and soul into this because it takes a lot for him to do that.
Yeah.
Even though in the WWE he was pretty funny, but I think that it's easier to do for 10 minutes during a 3 hour show than it is for 40 minutes during a 42-hour show or 42-minute show.
Yeah.
And he seems to be pulling it off quite well. Now, what I noticed is that Adrian Chase, the vigilante, is completely
Yeah.
different from anything any portrayal I've ever seen of him, anything I've ever read of him. He's more like a Deadpool without the invincibility.
Kind of, yeah. Like he's got that. He's kind of like a mix of Deadpool and Spider-Man. Like he's a kid, and he's got that wit about him that comes from
Plus
Deadpool.
the
But like you said, without the invincibility.
plus the fact that he's an idiot.
Mm-hmm. He is stupid.
You know, it's like, you know, when Murray says, "Do you want to stay here all night?" His hand goes up. Would you guys have cable? Because if you don't have cable, you know, all right, never mind. I'll just withdraw my answer. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude,
didn't have to answer that.
that's what they call a rhetorical question. I'm sure you've had them before. Holy crap! But you
And
know,
he's like,
the whole
I love
the
his.
whole Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I love that he's a freaking bus boy. Like his normal life, he's just a bus boy at a restaurant.
If you want to see an amazing portrayal of vigilante that's closer to what the history has put him as, take a look at, I believe it's season six of Green Arrow, of
Okay.
Arrow. Adrian Chase is interesting, to say
Okay.
the least. He's very dark.
Um, and what streaming service is that on?
I'll have to take a look later and let you know. But
Okay. Yeah.
oh, you get. I know it's on Netflix. I'm not sure about anything else. But yeah, Arrow season six, Adrian Chase. It's it's very dark. He's very smart. He's a strategist. He, you know, he was trained by the League of Assassins and Ra's al
Okay.
Ghul's family type thing.
Yeah.
So you know,
Interesting.
it's a lot different. And when I saw this new one, I was like, "What is this? This is a joke? Is this? Are you kidding?" And then as I'm watching it, I'm like, "Oh, okay, I can live with it."
I can definitely live with it. Like the and the actor, he does a really good job. Like he pulls it off well. And you kind of like I know Eagly is Peacemaker's like sidekick, but Vigilante's definitely kind of like another sidekick slash best friend. Like he doesn't embrace it at first, but Peacemaker eventually
Well,
embraces
well,
that is
we're gonna discuss that on the review channel
yeah,
this week. But
absolutely.
you know, you definitely have some good points that we can bring up there.
Oh yeah.
My concern is, how far is the MCU going to take, moving away from canon and making their own
Their own
backstories and
thing.
futures for the characters.
It depends. I think if you have directors like what is his name? Taika Waititi, is that his name? He did Thor
funniest guy,
Ragnarok.
funniest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
He also
He
plays Korg.
yeah. Yeah, he's phenomenal. If he's continuing to direct the movies, let him do what he wants, in my
James
opinion.
Gunn, apparently, as you see, James Gunn, who is directing Peacemaker,
Yeah.
is also the director for Guardians of the Galaxy, and he does a phenomenal job.
Oh yeah. Keep them both. Just let them have their fun with it. I'm excited for Guardians 3. I know it's still a little ways away, but I'm ready for it. I know it got pushed back a couple times because they had issues, offset issues, but that was my favorite. That and Ragnarok have been my favorite movies
Well,
until
I'm kind of curious to see
Shang-Chi.
how Thor: Love and Thunder is going to go.
Me too. I'm not huge on. I know a little bit of the backstory, and I'm not huge on taking Thor's power away from him.
Well, they may not.
Okay. If they
This
don't,
is what I'm.
okay.
They may not. See, if you know a little about the backstory, you know this much: that when she took over as Thor because she was dying from the ether that was in her,
Mm-hmm.
he became even more powerful, and
Okay.
he went from Thor to Thor Odinson to Odinson the God Killer.
Oh, so that's what he's gonna become. Is
Yeah, there's a
eventually
good
Odinson.
possibility. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that they're going to make him the God Killer, which brings me to another hypothetical. We have She-Hulk coming out.
Yeah.
We've seen Banner. We've seen we're going to see She-Hulk. We've seen Abomination.
Yes.
All we really need are two more, which is Rick Jones as A-Bomb, and I believe Thaddeus Russ turning into the Red Hulk, and you've got Agents of Smash. And I wonder, are they forming Agents of Smash, or are they just gonna like skirt around it?
Do you think, well, as Agents of Smash, do you think it is a staple in the Marvel universe? Do they need to cover it, or could they look around it?
They could go around it. I mean, it's a fun dalliance to do because what it is, Agents of Smash is all different variations of the Hulk.
Okay.
So it's got the Red Hulk, the Green Hulk, She Hulk, A Bomb, which is an intelligent form of the Hulk.
Hmm.
Um, one, two, three, four. There's one more
So
that
that
I'm
A-Bomb
missing.
is still separate from Smart Hulk from Endgame.
Yes, A Bomb is a character named Rick Jones. Now, in the backstory to this is when Banner got blasted with his radiation. This is what happened. It was they were doing they were on a bomb test site, and there weren't supposed to be any bomb tests that day. And Rick Jones, which was a friend of Banner's, was was on a trip out through that property when they decided they were going to do bomb testing. So Banner went out to save him and ended up getting irradiated with gamma radiation. But unbeknownst to anyone else, so did Rick Jones. They
Okay.
thought he was cleared. That Banner thought that he cleared him. He threw him in a ditch or something like that, and he thought he was clear, but he ended up becoming irradiated.
So he also becomes a Hulk.
A
Hulk-ish
form
version.
of a Hulk. Yeah, and the way that Jennifer becomes She-Hulk is because she was in an accident or something and needed a blood transfusion, and Bruce was the nearest living relative, so he gave her some of his blood, and it turned her into permanently into She-Hulk.
Oh, so she can't go back and forth like Bruce can.
Right,
Oh, wow.
right, and so she's a practicing lawyer, and she actually does go to court all green, giant with a giant, business suit, ladies' business suit, and pleads her cases. And
Wow.
they acknowledge that, yeah, this is the way she is because of something that happened, and doesn't change the fact that she's a good lawyer.
Yeah. Wow. I wonder if they're going to show that in the show.
I don't.
I would think so.
I would hope so.
Hmm. There's a lot of good stuff coming out from Marvel this year. And so
Right.
far I've loved Phase 4. The shows have bing good overall. Shang-Chi's been good. Just keep pumping them out. Gives everybody something to watch.
Right. Okay, we hit it. The
So,
halfway mark. Guess what that means?
what does that mean?
That means Destiny news.
Destiny news.
Updates, updates and info on the Witch Queen.
So, um, it was sent to me this morning a video on updates for the Witch Queen. So they're going to have 8 new exotic weapons, 50 new weapons total. 8 new exotics. So one of them is a pre-order bonus, but you have to craft it in order to obtain it. So crafting is now working its way into Destiny.
Now, if it's a pre-order bonus and you have to craft it, does that mean people who don't pre-order don't get the option to craft it, or do they get the option later on?
I didn't see it specified, but I would hope that you would still give it as maybe a quest or something to that effect. People shouldn't have to lose out entirely on it because they didn't get it in time.
Right, right.
That's how I see it. But it's called the Striga, one of those.
Yeah,
Um,
Striga.
so the exotic claves, they're going to be class based, but we'll get to that in a minute. Um, grenade launcher, parasite, exotic grenade launcher. That was one of the weapons mentioned in the video I saw. It launches the worms, the hive worms,
And
and it
they
explodes.
explode, right?
Yeah, on impact they explode, which
But
looked bizarre.
here's that leaves me to a big question that I know they didn't answer.
Yeah.
It launches worms. Where do you get the worms from for ammo?
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. I was like, how does that work? All right, do we just now have a little storage facility full of worms, or for
Keep them in your
guardians just to go
backpack.
around? Oh Lord, be awful. Uh, can you imagine you just in an adventure and the freaking worms are all in your back? That just no. But maybe you can tell me because you've been. I don't have one that I know of. So, do you have a slug launcher by chance, or is that a new kind
Oh,
of weapon?
no, it's not a new kind of weapon. It's a machine gun. It's like the Xenophage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
It's
That's
a
why I
it's
don't
a
know.
it's a machine gun, but it fires differently.
Right.
So it's not like, like a submachine gun or the machine guns where they fire rapidly.
Yeah.
It fires a little slower,
Hmm.
but the slugs are heavier.
So slower rate, more damage.
Right. It's they equate it to, the Cabal boss that just keeps boom 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 boom
Yeah.
boom. It's like
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. The thing that's a headache.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's called the Grand Overture, and it's going to be, from what I saw in the video, it looks like it's arc damage, and it will fire up to 20 homing missiles.
It looks amazing.
It does look nice. Those are the only ones that were mentioned by name in the video for those three. They said that there are 8, one possibly in a raid, one possibly in an exotic
Well,
quest to the effect of, like the ship, um,
right. The
Presage.
dead man, the dead man's.
Yeah, that like Dead Man's Tale.
Right, but you figure they
Um,
would have to have an exotic in the raid. I mean, they have one in every raid.
every raid. Yeah, so there has to be, um, no doubt. So that's what I got for the weapons. 6 armor pieces, exotic armor pieces, 2 per class. One's going to be stasis and one's going to be non-stasis, which I'm not
So
sure
they
how I feel about it.
they just said non-stasis. Like, it's not like one's going to be stasis and one's going to be void. They're going to be different.
They're all going to be different. They're not they didn't specify which subclass they'd be for, even though I've got them here. Um, so Titan is the stasis chest piece. Hoarfrost Z is the exotic stasis chest piece that will be coming out, and I
Yeah,
believe it
I
comes
saw
with that
that.
barrier thing.
I saw that. What it does is it takes your barrier, and instead of making a barrier, a small barrier wall, the
Hmm.
kind that you shoot over, puts a
Yeah,
stasis wall that will freeze anything that comes near it or slow anything that comes near it. Plus, it gives a dip so you can still shoot through it. I don't
shoot
know if I
things.
like that. I don't know if I like that idea because I'm used to my armamentarium where I get to carry 2 grenades at all times. If you're going
Right.
to take one of my grenades away to give me a wall that I can only put up once in a while, I don't know how well how I like that
Not
idea.
to mention, if you have friends around and they have that, and you throw a grenade and the wall goes up, there's a chance between a grenade or your rocket launcher that you're going to die.
There's also that other problem. I'm a Titan. You're a Titan.
Right. Yep.
We're in a raid together and we're getting bombarded. And at the same time, we both get the idea to throw up our barriers. Now we've got this giant wall, and
Yeah, and it,
the possibility that because I threw mine up next to yours, mine's going to block your opening, and yours is going to block my opening, and then we're both screwed.
and then it's just pointless. Yep. Yep. Right. That's gonna be interesting how they avoid that problem if they do. Um, Splendor helmet. That is solar. That is a Titan solar helmet, and it gives extra grenade melee and helps with the super.
Is that the thing that
So it's kind of.
if you have one of them burning weld type things, that it gives
Hmm.
your teammates health and it gives you health while you're in it?
I did not tell. I mean, that'd be nice if a Titan could do that. I'm not sure if it's going to do that. I didn't catch that, but maybe. Have to go back and look again. Because that's all for Titan. Then Warlock was filament legs. So it's going to help while the Warlocks throw their wells up. It actually helps disrupt foes around them. It's kind of like Ward of Dawn when you have Helm of Saint. It's kind of a similar effect. They walk
Don't
into
they?
it and
They
it's
give them.
somehow it's going to disrupt them.
It gives them devour too, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Did you take a look at those legs?
Yeah, I mean, I watched it. It was pretty
They look
intense what
they
it
look pretty
does.
cool.
They look great. They do look pretty sweet. Um, I'm just wondering how it disrupts the foes, and if you're using that in a situation, say like you have those, and we go back to an old raid. It's like boss fight, Vault of Glass. I wonder how much easier that would make it if your harpies are all getting disrupted while you're standing in there shooting at
Well,
Atheon, for example.
I don't know. Good
I
thing I
think
don't have a warlock.
right. I do. It might get interesting. Um, then
Be
there's
honest with
also
you, I had forgotten you had a warlock.
I do have one each sub of each class. Uh,
Damn,
Hunter is my least favorite.
really, warlock's my least favorite. That's why I have a titan and a hunter.
Uh, Hunter is just I don't know. I don't like the jumping.
Speaking of hunter, what
I
do you
think the
have
jumping
for us?
sucks. Well, there's still one more for the Warlock. There's the Osmiomancy gloves. I don't know much on it besides it being stasis. Excuse me, stasis beamed.
Okay,
So they're getting legs and gloves. The Hunter has a Blight Ranger helmet, which, from what I saw in the video, it looks like it literally covers the Hunter in a Blight and kind of protects it from the outside.
okay,
But they can still move around. So they basically kind of, what I got from it was it's like the Titan's Ward of Dawn, but your Hunter can move with it. It's like a own personal shield.
right, okay.
That's what I got from it. And then they're getting the renewal grasps, which I wasn't entirely sure from the video what they do, but it looked like it had a gun kind of attached to it. So I don't know if they get to use hunters get to use that like as an additional thing. I'm not sure. I'll have to research
Okay.
that one a little bit more.
Okay.
Um, Buffs and nerfs are the next thing. Exotic primary and trace rifle are going up in PvE by 40%,
Say that
which I
again.
think is great. I think the exotic primary, any exotic primary weapon, is getting buffed by 40%, as well as trace rifles
And that's in PVE.
for PvE.
Are they making a buff for PvP?
PvE and PvE and PvP, 40%
That's dangerous.
is what I understand. Well, yes, but it'll there's some things to that too. There's some weapons it doesn't apply to. But I'll get to that in a minute. Um,
Okay.
I saw the chaperone is getting nerfed, which I
Thank
think is
God.
good. They need to do it with all shotguns. All shotguns for
They
PvP
do.
need to be nerfed.
What's
It
that disgustingly horrible shotgun that everybody uses in PvP all the time?
chaperone and Fellwinter's Lie and
Fellwinter's Lie. That's so gosh darn annoying.
yeah, yeah, it's bad. I hate shot. It's gotten to where I can't even. I get disgusted and I either delete it or throw it in my vault. I hate shotguns at this point.
I agree with
I,
you. I agree with you. I only have them in case I
shot
have to do some sort of quest with shotguns.
right because shotguns shouldn't be able to shoot 30, 40
Uh,
plus feet away.
yeah, they shouldn't be able to shoot across a
They're
map. That's
supposed to
crazy.
be a close range weapon.
Yeah,
It's
they're
supposed to be.
supposed unless it's a slug
Um,
shotgun.
yeah, yeah. I mean, all these other ones, like these quick barreled ones, it's just it makes no sense.
I mean, they're supposed to
Um,
have scatter shot.
effigy is
How can you
well,
how can
yeah,
you scatter shot something across a map?
map and make yeah, it it makes sense if it's close range, and if it's
Right,
close range and you're using it, that means you're having to work hard to get it there, and that's why then I'm okay with it.
right.
But to effortlessly be able to, like you said, across the map kill people with scatter shot is just stupid. Um, I don't know much about the effigy, but it's getting a buff. I don't know if it's in PvP, but I know
It's
it's in
getting a buff.
PvP. It's getting a buff.
Okay. The Ruinous Effigy is a
Yes.
trace rifle that when you kill your opponent, they turn into a purple ball that you can then use as basically a shield. It creates like a bubble around you as you go through, and it's actually like if an enemy bumps into it, they'll die,
Like
or they can
just on
get so
impact.
far. Either that, or they can get so far into it where it's just going to keep eating away at their health till they're
Oh
dead.
boy. Okay. Does it do that in
And now
PvP as well?
it does, but it's a lot harder because you have to kill a guardian, then pick up their bubble and chase after the other guardians. And it's
Right.
on a timer, so
There's only so much time you get with that.
right.
Mm, Lumina is also. I didn't really look too much into the specifics because I don't really care about the numbers so much. I don't pay attention to all that. I just want to know if it's going to be decent or not.
Right.
Um, Lumina is also getting a buff, and here's why I said back to exotic primary and trace rifle buff. Lumina is, but guns like Thorn aren't, because Thorn is already a good hand cannon.
Okay.
So it's only certain ones that are getting
Or,
buffed.
okay.
Um, Ager's Scepter is getting improved to where it has a slower super drain and something else that speeds up.
Well, that's
Um,
good. That's good. I
yeah,
can appreciate that, especially in the raids.
yeah, because it's a good trace rifle. If that, because it's a trace rifle, isn't it?
It is, and during the Vault of
Stasis.
Glass, yeah, it is stasis. So during the Vault of Glass, on the first part where we get to choose where we're going to start, where I say, I'm going left and Liquid says I'm going right to do that. First thing I do is hit the top of the stairs and just start spraying with that Aegis Scepter. And it freezes everything.
Okay.
Then I just take
Okay,
out my
that'll
bow
make
and
it
just
nice
pick
then.
them off. Yeah.
Excuse me. So much sleep.
Well, maybe that should be coffee and not water.
Eh, I've already had two today. Um, and then of course they very briefly mentioned in that video the new weapon type, which was a spear. So you could.
The
It looks like
glaive.
you could. Yeah,
Okay.
and it looks like you could like come down with it. Like how with our hammer super, you can like smack it down. It looked like
A
a
ground and
similar
pound.
effect. Yeah, it looks like you ground pound with the spear, but also throw it.
Well,
Um,
you don't throw it. I did a little research. You shoot it.
you can shoot it. Okay.
Yes, and you have to reload it.
Do you have to track it down and reload it?
What do you mean track? No, no, you don't. You don't. The spear never leaves your hand.
Oh, okay. So the
You
spear
sh-
shoots.
Spear shoots, and then you pop off the back end of the spear, grab another one, clip it on, and that's how you reload it.
Okay, I see. I see. So it's kind of more
Also,
like a shooting trident, but just one
yes,
one spear.
correct, correct.
Okay, I gotcha. They didn't touch on it, at least as far as we went in on it, but 42 new legendary weapons as well.
Well, before you go into that, have
Yeah.
the glaives are, how do I say this? They're specific to each class of character, and
Okay.
the Titan glaive puts down a bubble wherever you can like have the ability to throw a bubble over your friends as you're flying by.
Okay. I see.
The hunter sends a arc, I believe it's arc, stream out to follow wherever it can to eliminate enemies. And I believe that the warlock, if I'm not mistaken, does a similar thing with stasis.
Okay. I gotcha. So Warlock
So
and Hunter kind of do more damage, where Titan's still kind of that protecting role.
correct.
Okay.
Plus, they all three of them still shoot.
Right. Right. Can you imagine a fire team of not necessarily one of each, but say we're not together and there's one of us and still having either a warlock or a hunter or two warlocks or two hunters or whatever, and you've got it to where you can protect them and then they can do all that damage. I feel like you can mow through people,
Correct.
which that gun is gonna be, or spear rather, is gonna be pretty nasty, I think.
And you could use it for melee as well.
So you can still hit with it.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
You could melee with it. You could shoot with it, and you have that special.
the
perk
villain.
per class.
Okay. So what you're saying is that might be the gun of the season to get.
I think it would be great for PvE. I'm not sure how good it would be for PvP yet. I don't know what the range is. I don't know what the accuracy is.
It
I don't
depends
know.
on too the ammo capacity. You know how they get
And
funny with the
it's not
heavy.
just the ammo capacity, it's the type of ammo it takes. I don't know. So I
Yeah.
don't know if it's something along the line of worms where we have to get a special ammo.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of what they were saying too, is it may not even be a normal. I hope it is a normal weapon, because they were kind of wondering in that video if it would be like a relic kind of weapon, like how we get Crota's sword for
Right.
certain events. Which I hope that's not the case, because that thing looks amazing and would be nice to just carry around regularly. Um, but they did say on top of those, the 8 exotics, 42 new legendary. They said some names, but I have my guns that I like already. If I find a new
Well,
one, great. If not,
see here's the thing with crafting weapons.
not all.
You
Yeah, not
can
all of them can do it too.
right, but the way apparently the way I understand it is you have to find basically diagrams on how for each weapon you want each class you want to do.
So you really
Um,
have to put the time in to make it.
right, right, and you could make them with the more you use the gun, the more you can upgrade it.
Okay.
So if you get it to the point where you can upgrade it any way you want, you could go in and have one gun that you use for PvP, and then as soon as PvP is over, go into crafting, change the settings in it, and take it right into PvE. You don't have
Okay.
to carry two guns of the same type. You don't have to have extra ones in your vault.
Ah, okay. So you can just start changing perks now.
Right. Not only perks, but like barrels and the whole 9 yards.
Which I think they needed to do it that way. I think that just makes it easier, and it doesn't take as much space, both
Now
in your personal inventory and vault.
you won't be able to do as much customization on exotics, but there are still some customizations you'll be able to do.
Okay.
So if me and you get the same exotic, and I use it, we use it. I could change my perks. You change your perks. The guns are completely different now, even though we got them from the same place at the same time.
Okay. I did notice too, crafting location was interesting
That's
to
what I
me,
was
and
wondering about. Is there going to
because
be
they
like
said
a main place that you have to go?
yes, so it's called the Enclave, and it looks like it's going to be on Mars, so it looks like Mars is coming back.
Okay, see, I was kind of hoping that they were going to be putting it like in the helm because I heard they were repurposing the helm. But
No, it's not in the helm, which I've heard that too, and I would like them to keep the helm around, but it looks like the crafting is going to have its own exclusive little area. And I'm excited to see what planets and all we're going to have this time around.
right, right.
Still think we should get to keep all of it. I understand they got to make space and all that stuff, but feel like they could just make the map smaller.
Well, what they're going to do is they're going to make the map smaller just for you, and everybody else is going to be stuck out in the cold.
Yes. Finally. See, I knew Sony buying Bungie was a good thing.
Yeah. Um, Another point is Witch Queen's coming up in a week, little
Yep,
over a week.
that it is.
They still haven't said anything about the final leg of the storyline. They haven't said it's coming out on Tuesday. They haven't said from my experience. I have a feeling that it's going to be a live event on Monday, the 21st, starting probably around 8 o'clock. So it'll be from 8 to 10. 10 will be the end of the event, and they'll shut down for 14 hours.
Oh wow, it's a long time.
But they haven't. See,
'Cause
the
I've
problem
never
is
done
they
one
haven't
of those.
even. Problem is they haven't even said that yet. They haven't told anyone. If it is going to be a live
Keeping
event,
it
they
very
haven't
hush hush.
said. Yeah, they haven't said. So, how many people are going to show up for this live event if nobody knows about it?
They definitely need to address it by Tuesday,
But well, yeah, either this
like this
Tuesday
coming
or
Tuesday.
yeah, yeah, because they
They
have
want to take
Iron Banner. They have Iron Banner coming out on Tuesday. So if they're going to do a an end storyline mission, they're going to do it the same week that they have Iron Banner out.
Yeah, it's
You know,
weird.
that's why I'm looking
I
at it
don't
and
like it.
going, you know, this is probably going to be a live event. And
Yeah, and you'll have to send it to me. I hate that I'm gonna miss it.
it will be streamed on our YouTube gaming channel.
Sweet. Okay. If I get a chance, I'll hop on there and maybe not the night of, but maybe the following day, get a little chance to see it. Now, when it's you say 2 hour event, is it all cinematic or is there activities to do throughout that?
Well, the last event, we had to jump through some hoops to get to the spot that we had to be at to witness the event.
I
But
see.
but it wasn't anything major. I mean, it was a slow process. That's why it took so long. Is you know, enemies would attack this thing, then they would go here and do this, and slowly they would start to attack and wear down on the traveler, and that took quite a while to see it, you know, coming apart piece by piece and all that.
So it just kind of builds itself. It just takes time, really, is the big
Right.
thing. It's not hard, it just takes time.
Correct. Correct. So I don't know.
Okay.
I have a feeling that that's what they're going to do with Savathun, with her exorcism.
Yeah.
Because what they have to show is her exorcism, then they have to show her escape, then they have to show her hooking up with, I believe it's the Hive or whoever, and then them getting their light, and that's where if I was them I would cut it off. Is, you know, the first alien to get guardian abilities, boom, you stop it right there.
I agree. That'd be a good
And
way
then
to do it.
14 hours later you come back. I
Get
have no
going.
idea. Yeah.
Actually start the journey of figuring out how to stop it.
Right.
Well, sweet.
Well, that seems to be our conversation for today.
I think so. I think it was good, though.
I agree. You could join
Only
me
thing
at PJ.
Oh,
Go ahead.
go ahead. I was just gonna say the only disappointing part is just not that the show anything was bad, just that there's no update on the case.
No, but we are going to keep an eye on it,
Absolutely.
and we'll let you know if there's any developments.
Oh,
In the
for sure.
meantime, as usual, we would throw up the tip line again. If anybody has any information that help them with this case, please feel free to call that number. You can call it anonymously. They're looking for information on any sightings of her between the end of November and December 10th of 2019. If you have any information, or no matter how small you think it's insignificant, please call that number and give them what you have. Maybe it'll help find this girl sooner. All right, you can join me and PJ on the gaming on the reviews channel for the review of episode 2 of Peacemaker this week, and we will be streaming the live event or whatever event it is on the gaming channel on YouTube next week. Well, at the final reset of the season. You could also find us on Discord. You can find us on PlayStation. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us just about anywhere. All you have to do is look in the description down below, and it'll give you all the information you need. PJ, any final thoughts?
You're lucky that you get to be a part of the event, whatever they do. Because I'm going to hate missing it.
Yeah, well, you'll have a lot of catching up to do because you're not coming back till the 5th, and the raid drops on the 6th. You are not going to be anywhere near light level for that.
No, you guys are going to have to do that without me.
but I'm sure you'll catch up soon enough.
Oh, yeah, I'll get on the grind.
All right, brother. Until next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you all later.